have a complicated relationship with my hammock. Wouldn't say I love it, wouldn't say I hate it, but it's been a while since I've used it. So I'm coming out this weekend. It's actually a Sunday. Tomorrow's a school day. I'm coming out on this Sunday to do an overnight hammock camping trip. This is going to be a chill, late fall, laid back trip, and what a better way to lay back than with a hammock. So thanks for joining me for this one. Let's go check out Norton Island and see how I do with the hammock. I'm a little bit blown away that we're in the second week of October and I'm paddling in short sleeves. It is absolutely amazing out here. And this is the report for the next 2 days, so let's take advantage of it. I departed out of Bealstown Landing today, and I'm going to make my way through Moosabec Reach over to Norton Island. Norton is a private island, but it is part of the Maine Island Trail Association. The owners ask that you contact them before camping there. They do a lot out of the island. They run artist residencies and writers retreats, as well as it's their island to enjoy as well. So they ask people to contact them. But join MITA. You'll find all the information on how to contact them there. They're delightful. They're incredibly accommodating when they can be, and just love this section of the coast and love sharing it. I was looking for something close by and easy today, not only to take advantage of this weather, but I want to go hammock camping. And I haven't used my hammock a lot, and I don't use my hammock a lot because I'm never really sure of what I'll find on islands, as well as sometimes islands where they ask you to camp, or the platform to camp on, or the options to camp on, just don't suit themselves great to hammocks out here along the coast. But here I am at French House Island. I'm going to zip through the reach. The reach is really the only consideration, that and boat traffic. But the reach can hit like 1.3 knots on max flood and ebb, 1.4 knots, and we're pretty close to spring tides, so we're gonna see those limits today. Now, I chose this trip not to have to worry about it. We are pretty close to high tide right now, and I'm not going to see much of anything going. But usually 100 yards so on either side of the bridge, depending on which way the water's moving. There could be a little bit of current there to navigate. If it was really bad, I would have chose to launch from a different location. It wasn't too bad, so we're going to do it from Bealstown Landing. But yeah, over to Norton, as we're now going to get closer to the bridge. Right on the other side of that bridge, I paddled into a back eddy where the water was going the other direction. So I just moved out a little bit to get into the flow a bit more. I don't know if you'll be able to see the eddy lines. They always wash out a little bit on camera. And it is noisy. And maybe it's not so much for you where you paddle, but I'm not used to boats or people or forklifts. And that's what it's been here as I've paddled in front of Beals. I'm a little surprised. There's quite a bit of current still moving through here. Yeah, I didn't expect to see quite as much current at this point in the tide. It's an easy trip to where I need to be. Took a quick stop on an unnamed island on my chart. If I find the name, I'll throw it on the screen. And was just reminded of a tip that I'll share with you again. I got some stuff out of my hatch, closed my hatch up, walked up the beach a little bit, and a lobster boat came by, not very fast, and pretty far away, and its wake completely swamped my back deck. If my hatch had been open, I would have gotten water in my back hatch. And yeah, stuff is in dry bags, but no dry bag is fully dry. And then there's stuff that isn't in dry bags that could technically be wet. But it's just another reminder, I've seen it over and over again, of just pay attention to your hatches being open when you think you're in a pretty calm, quiet spot or just stopping for a quick break. That it doesn't take a whole heck of a lot to get a lot of water into your back hatch. Passing Sheep Island here, and I've got Norton in my sights. I have it in my mind that I've got to do these like epic things. I can hear the story trying to convince me that it's not good enough. But it's a micro adventure, and I would rather have tonight in a hammock on a beautiful island than not at all. And I'll take those micro adventures. I think so many of us have so many other commitments in our lives that make our lives rich and full. And the times to do things like this are limited. And I think we can find extraordinary in ordinary things. Spending a night on an island close to your hometown is going to be fantastic in its own way. Yeah, micro adventure. Got a little bit more to do to cross this little channel to get to Norton, and then we'll start checking out Norton. Hey seals. What's up, dudes? There's the weird pyramid-shaped boulder that marks the campsite. Campsite's just in the woods here. The cove to land is just to the north of this boulder. This is going to be a stinky, smelly, low tide landing. There's a lot of dead kelp hanging around. Okay, here we are. Gear and boat are up. Trick was just to get the boat to somewhere where I could get to firm footing, and I used the ledge a bit. Tomorrow, if the tide's out, I might use the ledge on the south side a little bit more and just carry my boat out the ledge and slide it down some rockweed instead of trying to navigate those boulders. But that problem solved. Next, let's get changed, which you're not going to see, and let's get the hammock up, which you'll probably see. I think I'm going to make this spot right here in the clearing my first attempt at setting up the hammock. We'll see if it fits there. I think so. This is one of the problems. I don't set it up enough to have a real good muscle memory of how much space you need. But it looks pretty awesome, so we're going to try first. Okay, update. I found the right trees, but I set it up a little too high, so now I need to lower it a little bit. Back down. Not bad. It took me about 20 minutes to set up. It was about as easy as I remembered. I'm not really sure about the tarp. The tarp might be too high. I left it open right now just to enjoy the breeze, but tonight I'll throw it over just so I don't get too much dew or condensation. Oh, it feels pretty good. This is a little bit of what I was looking for. Currently on Team Hammock. We're at the happy point of our relationship right now. I was lying in there for a little bit and could have easily taken a nap. That may happen. Still a chance. A little bit more I wanted to do around camp before I really started to wind it down. So I forced myself up, and I didn't make it very far. Sitting in my camp chair, looking at the ocean. I think it was the last episode where I went to Little Water Island. I was like, I'm not really taking my camp chair very much. I don't know if I need my camp chair. But with the hammock today, I was thinking I'm not really gonna have a lot of options to like hang out. I'm either lying down or sitting on the ledge. So I thought the camp chair could redeem itself today. That is a downside, I think, to hammocks. You get one position. It's a comfortable position, but you get one position. I can't get over how hot it is. I'm shocked I was paddling in short sleeves today. Totally didn't expect that. And normally when I get to camp, particularly in shoulder seasons, I'll keep my leggings on that I wear with my dry suit, and I have them on right now underneath my pants, and I am toasty, friends. We'll see how long these stick on. And it's gonna be a thing that maybe not in an hour, but in a couple hours, it's gonna completely flop. It's not gonna get too cold tonight. I think it's only supposed to get down to like 58, 56. And I don't think there's a lot of breeze predicted, but right now it's hot. I've been acutely aware of a struggle that I've had recently of letting my head call too many of the shots instead of giving my heart a chance. And I've talked about it on this channel before, about how I'm trying to plan everything out and make these really polished episodes when I'm out here recording, but there's so much unknown when I'm out here that it's hard to plan it all. And what happens is I don't let my heart come out. I don't let my heart shine. And it's been something I've been trying to really shift on the channel quite a bit lately, of just showing you more of my heart, showing you more authentic Steve. I don't know if it's working. It's my head talking. I'm just going to show you what I got. Show you what my experience is and show you what I want to show you instead of what I think I need to show you. That's where I think I tie myself into all of those knots. So let's go for a walk and check out the island. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way around. There's a trail that goes along the south side, along the ledge on the rocks, and then it cuts through about the middle of the island through the woods, and then it comes back out the other side. So I don't know. We'll see how far I get. We'll see if I make it all the way around or just explore it a little bit. But you're coming with me. I don't know if I've seen that before, just a line of barnacles in a channel in the rock that just gets enough water where it stays wet and the barnacles don't dry out. This would be a really fun spot to camp for 2 nights. And I think that's the max the landowner asks people to stay. But with a second day, full day, you could jump out to Pond Point on the south side of Great Walls Island. You can go out to the sands and explore that island chain. That otherwise, it's a pretty long day back and forth. It's a long day trip to get to those points. But from here, they're pretty close. That'd be a fun spot to make a base camp and check out those spots. So, getting some ideas, Wendy. Got the fly situated for the night here a little bit before it gets dark. Pulled the other side over, and then this model, which I really appreciate, has flaps, not quite doors, but flaps that can block off the top and the bottom, I guess, or the foot and the head. So I blocked off in the direction of the wind, and there's still just a little bit of breeze coming through, which feels delightful. I was also kind of blown away too. I just haven't used this tarp very much. The guy lines that you put the tent or the tarp out with have quick release clips. So I didn't put it up earlier because I was like, I don't want to, walk around guy lines the whole day and get some air in there. And but it's a real quick, easy clip, flip over, without having to worry about putting your stakes back in or really futzing with the tension. So forgot about that. And the other thing I forgot about is on the door ends, I don't know what else to call it, there are tie backs. There are clips to tie back those doors so they're not flapping around all night. I forgot about that as well. But I am pretty excited. So there is a gear loft up here. This is right now my electronics bag. I also hung my tent light on the guy wire here. There's a tiny little pocket along the side here for a phone and not much else. And that's about it. I do love having things in with me, in the tent with me. And that is a drawback. Maybe in the summer it wouldn't be such a big deal, but getting out of this to try to get something or getting changed, leaves a little be desired. I will put most of my things in the boat tonight, not only because I won't have them in with the tent with me, but it's a big island. I've seen a lot of maybe fox prints. I'm sure there are raccoons. There is a big island. There's a lot of critters here. So everything's going to live in the boat unless it's something that I'm going to need tomorrow morning, like clothing that I don't feel like getting to the boat to. So my extra clothing will live below me tonight on the ground in an IKEA bag under the tarp, and everything else is going to have to hang out in the boats tonight. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's pretty comfortable. It's definitely a pro. If there are more places I could use it in Maine, I'd feel more excited. But it is what it is. Gonna have a great night tonight. I do find the ground cloth is a useful addition, just so when you get out, you got someplace to land that's not the ground. You don't have to kick your shoes off and then hope for the best. It's a really delightful day. My goal of coming out to have a laid-back camping trip is working. And it's just been a chill day. It's as I designed it, it was meant to be chill, and it is chill. It's not rushing around. I had a nice walk around the island. I had plenty of time to just sit back and enjoy. I did some watercolor. That was fun to just disconnect my brain for a little bit and enjoy the scenery and kind of interpret the scenery. And I'm not really in a rush tonight. I do have to get up early tomorrow. And for those who know me, I am not a morning person. So this is going to be kind of miserable to get up and go and get back to where I need to be with time to then get to work. So it's all, I kind of want to be back at the launch at like 9:15, 9:30 tomorrow morning. And might be about an hour and a half from here, but packing up, getting everything packed up and getting stuff, it just takes hours. I'm always amazed at how long that takes, but that'll be the focus for tomorrow. I'm going to forget about that until tomorrow. The wind picked up a little bit through the early evening and then starting to die down now. I was quite a bit cold sitting out here, and then with the wind dying down, it's not quite as bad. Got the boat sorted and packed up and got everything in the boat that I don't need for the next 12 hours. Brought the stuff I need for food and cooking up so I don't have to go back down. I zipped up the tarp and got it zipped up. I got everything sorted out with the tarp and got that ready for the evening, and the hammock's all ready for the evening. I was testing some things out in there, and just I'm looking forward to that sleep. It's gonna be a really nice sleep. I'm not looking forward to changing before I go to bed, because I gotta kind of do that outside or like hunkered underneath the tarp, but I am looking forward to that sleep. I'm going to slowly just organize getting some dinner bits and pieces out, and probably eat a little bit after the sun sets. It's going to set at like 6:03 tonight, and most nights I'm not even done working at 6, let alone eating dinner at 6. So I'm going to be eating much later. I've been doing a lot fewer carbs lately. I don't know if you've noticed. I didn't want to say anything. I haven't seen anything in comments. No, but I've lost a little bit of weight lately by trying to reduce the amount of carbs I've been taking. And the day-to-day eating, changing my menus and kind of eating differently at home has been easier, and it's been a little harder to transition that here to camping. All the things I kind of normally go to, I notice are carbs. A lot of carbs in what I would normally eat when we're out and about, just because they store well. It's easy to reheat or whatever. But fat, I've noticed fat has been, because that's kind of where I'm getting my energy if it's not coming from carbs. I've noticed I've needed to think about fat intake, and like avocados and nuts and peanuts and almonds and macadamia nuts and nut butters and anyway. If you've got any tips for low-carb backpacking, I'm listening. I'm still trying to figure it out. Tonight, I've got cauliflower rice. I've got some leftover grilled chicken. Got some edamame and some carrots and a little sauce that I'll put on all of that. I'm sure there's one or two more things floating around there that I've forgotten about. But that's dinner tonight that I'm looking forward to. Do a little one-pot meal. But that's going to happen after dark. So I don't know if you're going to see that or not, or you'll see it with a headlamp, which doesn't make great footage. I'm really grateful to be able to have this little micro adventure here in a night of the week that normally, I'd be thinking about getting ready for work tomorrow. But to have this time here tonight feels really special. It's like almost like a stolen moment. It's something that just so grateful that I can fit that. I live in a place where I can fit that into my routine and take you all with me. I love taking you on these adventures and seeing the things and doing the things, and I hope you enjoy it as well. All right, well, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the sunset and get some stuff sorted for cooking food. Well, I've got a little bit of light, and then probably cook after dark.
The end of the world at the palm of my hand. When it all goes to hell, will you still be my friend? My face to the sea and my back to the land. And if you can't come with me, I'll understand. I'll understand. Can we meet in the dark? We don't have to say much. And if you have to go, have to go. If we didn't know what we know. The end of the world.
I think my fear was it was going to be a lot colder because it's a lot more open than some of the other tents that I have, and that may still be the case, but I dressed really warm. I've got a lot of warm layers on tonight, some thick fleece layers. Pretty chill night. Made dinner was yummy. Watched the sunset, which was amazing. The moon right now, holy smokes, it's almost full, and it looks amazing out there. I'm gonna get to bed here pretty soon because we've got an early morning tomorrow, friends. So sweet dreams, and I'll see you tomorrow. Slept pretty well last night. I slept really well last night, actually. It's the lobster boats that started at like 4:15 this morning that really kept me fitful and not fully rested. But other than that, it was a really cozy night's sleep. I find hammock camping to be some of the most comfortable sleeping I do, and everything else is a pain in the butt compared to tent camping, in my opinion. Where tent camping, sleeping is one of the least comfortable things that I do, but everything else is made a little bit easier. It's like, what trade-offs do you want? What do you want to give up in order to have a good night's sleep or to have a little bit more ease and functionality? Okay, I have a bit of a list to do this morning before I've got to get on the water and get back, so let's get that started. So the water's about where it is when I landed yesterday, and I think I'm just gonna use the same routine of using a bit of ledge and then really carefully scrambling and sliding the boat down. See if that plan changes, but that's the plan for now. You thought I wasn't going to take you? Come on, let's go get on the water. Do you think I timed that pretty well? I don't say so myself. It's that like tricky size of boulders underneath your feet where they're big enough you can walk around, but too big to guarantee you can like step on something and get a firm footing. Come on, rockweed. That was beautiful Norton Island. What did you think? Would you camp there? A little behind schedule. I was hoping to be on the water about 20 minutes, half hour earlier than this. But it is what it is. Still have plenty of time. I wanted to be on the really plenty of time just in case something interesting happened along the way. I didn't have to pass it by to get to where I need to be. But we're good. We're on the water, which is a happy place. Fighting my skirt, which is not a happy place. Stuck in my toe belt, I think. Come on, there we go. It's like a little bit that wouldn't go. Okay. Let's make a plan. If the tide is high enough, which it's got to be at this point, there's a little cut between Pomp Island and Norton Island that I'll cut through and then make my way to the front side of Norton, the north side of Norton, and then pick a way across the reach. I'm getting picked up from a different spot today just to make things a little easier. I'm getting picked up from Jonesport. So pick a spot across the reach and make my line. Shouldn't be too long, maybe an hour and 20 minutes of straight paddling if I don't dally. But you know me, I'm gonna dally. Okay, let's get going. The hammock was nice. It's not something I would go to along this stretch of coast. I think it limits you too much on the places you can stay. I think I could totally do it. You could find places to camp. Some of them might be less than ideal, and some of them might have to be a bit stealthy in order to get your hammock set up in a place that you need to camp. There's just so many islands along the coast that don't have trees or are trying to protect the vegetation. So it's not the most versatile option, but it is a fun option, and I'm grateful that when I can plan to take it out and I've got a sense of what to expect on an island, that I can have a fun night in it. I was trying to express it this morning. Sleeping, I have the best night's sleeps that I ever have in a hammock, but everything else is kind of a pain in the ass. Getting dressed, organizing stuff around you at night, getting out to pee at night. It all is just like an added layer of like, oh. But the sleeping's fantastic. So, maybe if you're someone who has a hard time sleeping on a sleeping mat on the ground, maybe that could be a really solid option for you. I also like to extend my seasons and camp when it's pretty cold outside, and I don't know with that hammock in particular, it just doesn't button up enough. It's not really 3 or 4 season enough. Yeah, fun piece of kit, not the most versatile piece of kit for the type of paddling that I do. Look at this dude. That is a gift from the last ice age. It looks like that little boulder underneath is the only thing keeping it from completely toppling over. How much pressure's on that thing? I think the next time I go hammock camping, I'm going to be a little bit more intentional about using the center ridgeline. I don't think I got any video of it, but I started to put a lot of stuff up there, even like dry bags, small dry bags with like my electronics or things like that. I just would roll it up a little bit and clip the dry bag around it so there's a loop hanging from the ridge line. And that was really helpful, and that meant I didn't have to have a lot of stuff around me, but I kind of ran out of like carabiners, or maybe I should have taken like more stuff sacks in with me. I think that's the thing to do. That's the thing I'll unlock the next time I go hammock camping, is just be a bit more intentional about hanging things from the ridge line so they're not, I don't have to have them outside the hammock and they're not really ending up by my butt. Oh, hi, Heron. It was really fun taking you to Norton Island on this micro adventure. It feels like a stolen trip a little bit, a sneaky trip that on a Sunday night, now on a Monday morning heading back to work, that I got to have a way different Sunday night experience than I normally would, as you're getting ready for the next week. So I was grateful to take you along on that. And making time for these micro adventures is just really important. I was beating up myself of like, oh, I can't get out Saturday and Sunday, but what about Sunday, Monday? It might look a little different. It might mean an early morning, but I can still have the experience. And I'm grateful to be able to take you along on that experience. I had a lot of fun in the hammock. The hammock is fun to get out and to get in and to experience again. I don't really notice a huge weight savings or space savings, I've got to say, in taking the hammock. It was a little less weight and a little less space, but not much. Maybe a pound to a couple ounces. And in a kayak, I don't really think that little bit of weight really you notice very much. You notice it maybe when you're carrying gear back and forth from the boat up to your campsite at the beginning and ending of days, but otherwise, what I really notice is space in the boat. I need more space in the boat, not necessarily an ounce or two less. So I didn't notice that. I didn't have to take a sleeping pad, but I had the underquilt, so that was maybe a 1-for-1. The hammock body and tarp itself, that all is probably a little bit lighter with material, and it doesn't have as many tent poles, so the weight lightens up quite a little bit, but again, anything I was like, oh my gosh, this is like revolutionary. So again, it's trade-offs of what kind of experience do I want to have. I'm going to make my last stretch here back into town, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode. Are you a hammock camper? Are you a devotee? Do you have a hammock setup that you love? Throw it in the comments. I'd love to know. Is there something I did in this episode that's got you interested? Put that in the comments as well. I'm really enjoying connecting with the community in that space and getting to know all of you through that space. So thanks for engaging there. All right, friends. Well, I hope you enjoy your adventures, whatever they are. And until next time, safe paddling. Bye for now.